Hey, Echo, set the light to blue. You whore.
Hey. Say a meal.
Go Birds, bitches!
Damn.
That was loud.
Welcome to Kickout Club Wrestling Podcast. My name is Tyler. I am back like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Your favorite person on this podcast is back. And I'm joined today by the other two guys you had to suffer through last week. I'm sorry. First off is your boy from the greater Philadelphia area, Emil. What's up?
Here. We outside. We blew the whistle. Hey. Might go to a parade on Friday.
Okay.
That would be my second one.
Okay. Let's go. Were you one of the people climbing the street lamps in the first one?
I wish. I wish I was on the awning. That's what I wish.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
And introducing our third component, without him, it would just be me and Emil bickering the whole show. And I'm sure as much as some of you might like that, most of you probably hate it. So you can all thank this man now. It's Yusuf. What's going on, Yusuf?
Hello. Go Birds.
Thank you, Yusuf.
Thank you, Yusuf. Thank you, Canada.
Okay.
Oh, man. Great.
That's enough.
We got a packed show for us this week.
We're in a goofy mood today.
We are in a goofy mood
just
today.
a bit.
I'm so happy to be back and yapping about wrestling.
It is nice to have our tribal chief back. Did you find the falafel?
Thank you. I did find the falafel.
How's your medical contusions? Are you good?
My medical jargon
how's your
has
medical
been cleared
jargon?
up.
Are you okay?
Okay,
we're
good.
Yeah.
It's been a few weeks.
It has. It's been a couple. So for those that don't know, I had a nasty case of the stomach bug on the day of our last show. I woke up that morning and immediately ran to the bathroom and emptied, and then went back to bed, and like probably 5 minutes later did it again, and then they just kept going, rinse and repeat I spent that entire day sleeping, like literally.
He ran the Roman schedule.
No. I ran like the fucking man, who's the guy that wrestles like every single week? Someone that does double duty. I don't know, man.
I was meaning main event, go away. Main event, go away. Main event,
okay,
go away.
valid. All right, fair. Yeah, it was like sleep, shit, and the other one, which sucks a lot. The other end, not fun. But I'm back. I can eat 3 meals a day and not hate myself. I did lose a bit of weight though. I'm very happy with the weight loss on that, and the stomach shrinkage. You know, I have a lot less of an appetite, or a lot less of an appetite now. I was right the first time. So, yeah. Just some thoughts that I had about the Rumble real quick, because I didn't get to get my shit off last week. Yeet! Let's fucking go. Jey Uso wins. Let's get it. Listen, if when we got down to those last three with Cena, Paul, and Jay, I won't go too crazy. So just to talk about these, once we got to the last three of Cena, Paul, and Jay, and Charlotte had already won for the night, I was very easily just like, they're not going to have the veteran who's better than everyone else. Let's be real. It's John Cena. Come in the match and do the same thing. Win on their return. Whoa, there's 4 of them. Yo. Okay, there we go. For a second, your old screen had still been there, and you came in and there was like 2 Yusufs. Pretty wild.
Oh God.
But yeah, we're talking the Rumbles here. Good for Jey Uso, man. Absolutely well deserved. And as we've gone through the last couple of weeks with Jay being the winner, I've been very happy with where they're going with it. And we'll talk a little bit about it when we get to the actual meat of the podcast here. But Charlotte, I fucking called it. Emil can tell you he called it, but I called it. I called that shit. That was like corner pocket. Like I called that shit on the predictions. The men's rumble was fucking fantastic. Top to bottom. Penta looked like gold. Roman and Penta is the tag team I never knew I wanted. And
I love that the whole internet loves that one.
Facts.
I love that we're like, it makes no sense. There's no reason to do it. We're all in.
Yeah, man. Roman's got cero miedo, you know? No fear. But yeah, man, that men's rumble was great. Great to see Joe Hendry, we believe. And the women's rumble, I got a couple of small gripes. If you're going to have Charlotte win it, why the fuck you advertise her for the match? Like, it would have been way more interesting if she just came out without any hype behind it, and everyone was like, whoa, Charlotte's here in the Rumble. Oh, and she wins. Rather than like, yeah, Charlotte's coming back. Oh, there she is. Oh, Pyro, she's winning, right? Yep, there it is. She won.
Because
it's
Charlotte
to get
sells
people
tickets.
watching. Exactly. Charlotte sells tickets, right? It's to get people watching.
They
If you
advertised
didn't
her-
advertise Charlotte.
They
like,
advertised
weeks
her
before.
5 days before the show, so buying tickets was already done. They had already sold out the venue.
Well,
And,
not even tickets though.
extras.
Not even no, not even tickets. It's viewership on whatever
I'm-
platform you're using. For example, Netflix.
On a
Right?
show
Like,
when
that's-
you have like Cena, Punk, Roman,
Obviously,
Jey
we-
Uso, all
right,
these
right,
people.
we get
I don't
that.
think
Obviously,
Charlotte
we
get
really
that.
adds
Obviously,
anything
we all
extra
know
to
that
it.
Charlotte isn't selling out Royal Rumble 25. We know that.
No,
but we
know
also
that.
know
But
that that's
Charlotte
just another name to go.
adds
Damn,
it.
that's just more stacked. Yeah, it's
Right, because the thing
more.
is,
I
the
suppose.
idea at the end of the day is building intrigue, right? And yes, I get it. The men's rumble is already incredibly stacked, but for the women's rumble, for people to want to tune into that first hour and whatever it was of the show, how do you build intrigue for that first hour and a half of the show? Say, hey, look, Charlotte's here, and everyone goes, okay, we'll tune into the women's rumble. Hell yeah. And they do, and you're sitting there waiting and watching until, the omnipotent finally appears.
That's very interesting. I feel like I
Indeed.
don't know many casuals that would be like, yeah, I wasn't gonna watch the Rumble, but now that Charlotte's advertised, I'm
Well,
watching.
here's the thing. Is it towards the... I don't know if I want
'Cause
to...
if it's toward the hardcore
cut it
fans,
up by, like,
that's
casuals.
not moving numbers.
No, no. It's not going to move numbers, but I don't think you should be saying it targets the casuals. It's just targeting fans in general because, there are probably some casual fans that go, oh, Charlotte, cool. Even for the hardcore, they're going to go, well, I'm going to watch the show regardless, but now that Charlotte's here, it makes things a lot... It gives me a reason to want to actually tune in. Like, I'll have the show running in the background, but to actually, like, watch, and see what happens.
More people, more engagement.
More people. Yeah.
You guys are in the minority, I would say, in terms of this one in the community. To be
I didn't
honest,
say we liked it.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying the community saying my take that they shouldn't have advertised her, made it a surprise because they had already. They had still
the
been
community
building
is
her
one
up with
thing. We're three
packages.
people that's part of that community. So yeah, that's the thing, right? It again, it's the building intrigue thing, right? It's all part of how do you reel people in at the end of the day. I get it. Again, we've gone over this already, right? Maybe it's directed specifically to the casuals, but even then the casual, like, who gives a fuck? They did it for a reason, and that reason was, number one, it builds intrigue because now everyone's going, oh, fuck, Charlotte's here. And number two, everyone goes, oh, fuck, Charlotte's winning, isn't she?
It just it does something for the story, whatever. Like it's not that
It does
ain't that
something
deep.
at the end
It
of
ain't
the day.
that deep.
Like there is a purpose for them to do it.
I don't
If
think we would.
they-
I think we'd be at the same point. That's kind of what I think. I
Yeah,
think we would still be
it,
like.
it ends
eh.
up being
Maybe.
At the end of the day, they're a business
I
and they
don't
don't
really
do
think
things like
the
this
how matters
without.
here.
Yeah, they're a business and they do things after thinking about it for a while. They wouldn't just do this nonchalantly, being like, oh, no one's gonna give a shit. No, someone does out there, right? Netflix maybe.
This is funny because this is like a really weird like side tangent that you seem hyperfixated on that I would.
Oh, I'm
usually
not.
fix.
I'm not.
That-
This is the one I.
But I'm
least-
saying no. I was actually gonna say like this is something that I would hyperfixate on. 'cause
Oh.
I get it. But
Yeah. I mean, this is
for
the one I
this
care
very
about less.
specific case, I'm moving the goalpost, and it just is what it is.
I don't. I feel like you're not. I don't think that's really moving the goalpost. I think it's just you have the opposite opinion, and that's fine. Hey, either way, we're all mad or not mad, but we're all kind of just that Charlotte won. So, I will say that spot with Nia when she dumped out half the field in like one
That was
spot.
supposed to be so cool, and it just did not.
and
happen.
everyone just
well,
whee!
I think it was all the people that were like, everyone's like, oh, Liv could win. Oh, Bianca could win. Oh, Naomi could win. Oh, Io could win. All these top contenders, and Nia just dumps them all like an afterthought, and they didn't even say anything else after that. They're just like, oh, look at Nia. All right, anyway, let's keep going with the match. And I'm like, I just feel like that kind of just that was kind of a cop out to not have to focus on a lot more story that they could have told with all of those people.
It got undersold. I liked the concept of the spot.
I
think
agree.
The concept of the plan.
They could have done it earlier in the match.
The concept of the plan
I did
was,
catch.
was very good. The execution was. It left a thing to be desired.
I think it would have been a better spot if they had people like Roxanne and again, not maybe not Roxanne because it was great that she was the Iron Woman, that she was the runner-up. I thought that was fucking cool. But with people like, I don't know, like who else was earlier in the field? Like Ivy Nile, like Maxine Dupree, like those kind of people. Shayna, all of PFC could have been involved in that, and I would have not only appreciated the moment, but also been like, okay, this makes sense. I just feel like it was just kind of a cop out to avoid telling a lot of story with those women, and it kind of sucks for those women. But it is what it is.
So speaking of story, Charlotte's now kind of making her story, right? Like we're
Yep.
Are we rolling with this we keep calling her like the omnipotent force.
I'm down.
Of the women's.
I love it.
We're into that. That's question number one. I have a few
Okay.
ways of taking this. Number two, are we kind of acquiescing that this is tribal chief-esque, that we're
1,000%,
and that we might be going for the attempt at the woman's long reign that we haven't done in a while.
Yeah.
Like over 2 years.
Like she's got a dynasty to uphold, with the Flair family. You know
Flair
what I mean?
name, and she's already like the most winningest.
Winningest.
So now we put it at we give her the length to go with it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of her title reigns are maybe a month.
For sure. I'm with it.
So I don't love sacrificing Rhea. I really don't love sacrificing Tiffany. So somebody's dying. But right now we're juggling the field while we don't want to make a decision.
I think that it's going to be Tiffany, and I will explain why. I put it in the chat, but right now we have. So first off, we have 2 Elimination Chamber matches coming up at the on the first day of March. The 2 of you will be there. That's pretty cool. But the men's both matches before Jay declared he wanted to face Gunther, and we'll talk about that later. Both matches were for world title opportunities. We don't know which title they're going to get. It's whatever the Rumble winner doesn't pick, right? I don't see a scenario where Charlotte doesn't pick before Chamber, because I don't see them having someone win the Chamber and be like, oh, they get a world title opportunity, but which one? Like, I think they're going to have to figure it out by then. And not to mention the fact that Rhea and Io have a title match scheduled for the Raw after Elimination Chamber, which is lame. But hey, it tells me that the Chamber match is probably going to be for Rhea, for Rhea's opponent. And I think that Charlotte will end up picking Tiffany this Friday on SmackDown. Hey, I don't know what's going to happen at the end of it. I hope Tiffany wins, but we'll see. We'll see.
That makes me really sad.
I hate to spoil it.
That makes me really sad. I don't want to believe that Tiffy is losing, because I just don't see it. That sucks, man. That's the thing. We're like there are some like big face moments that are really gonna suck. I mean, that's good, right? That's good for story, right? It makes you want to root for the babyface, and it's not. I think it'll be super interesting that we may have kind of a heel-esque end to Mania. That intrigues me. So, but that is sad for Tiffy, because it almost gives her a transition role and not the role that she might deserve.
I think it might tell an interesting story if they had Charlotte win, and then have Charlotte just like snap and just go absolute ape shit and just go on like a tear and then win it later.
So everybody Cody lands.
No, that's not. I wouldn't say that's a Cody land. She's not a face. She just goes like she goes super heel. You know what I mean? Like
she does the double
already,
heel turn.
Well, I don't know if it's double heel, but it's just like she just
I
goes
don't
on a
think
mean
double
streak.
The reverse heel turn while she's already.
She's already on the whole omnipotent, like, all powerful, you can't kill me God mode, Charlotte, right? So all that's left is for her to be like the omnipotent, all powerful, I will end the world God, which she'll probably do. We'll all be sick of it, and then I don't know, someone vanquishes the demon. Please, Tiffany, just beat her at
Jordan
Mania.
Grace.
Fuck it,
Jordan
why
Grace
not?
be the one.
Jordan
down.
Grace, Roxanne.
Roxanne could too. They could build to that
Roxanne
with her being
could,
the runner-up. I'd be down.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool though. We got a good story set up there. I think it's pretty obvious that Charlotte's going to challenge Tiffany. But let's talk about the other Royal Rumble challenge that was made. Maybe the other WrestleMania challenge.
You said cool. I wanted to pivot entirely and talk about something not cool.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it. Go ahead.
You want to talk about something not cool?
No, let's talk about something cool. Or unless, what is yours, the not cool or the cool?
Mine's the not cool, but it involves somebody pretty cool.
Let's go to the not cool.
It involves somebody pretty cool. Carlito got beat up. Carlito was on Raw this week and had like multiple spots.
Yeah.
Wait,
Good
multiple?
job, Carlito.
multiple spots.
I saw
he
the
was on Raw
promo.
multiple times.
I saw the promo with AJ and Dom, but what was the other one?
Wasn't he was backstage?
Yeah, the backstage.
Wasn't he?
Oh, yeah,
No, he wasn't
yeah,
backstage
was.
in that.
It was a brief thing. I don't. Oh, he wasn't.
Yeah, not
What-
the.
what
not
was
the
the other-
By the way,
backstage
Carlito
with
got beat up.
Judgment Day.
Okay,
Carlito
well,
got-
Carlito was there.
Done. Yeah.
he was there
Judgment Day's still going.
in purple skinny jeans.
Yeah.
Those pants were kind of fly. Not gonna hold you.
The purple skinny jeans. You rolling?
I'm rolling. Judgment Day is on its last leg.
I mean, they're
yeah.
still bickering. Finn's still like,
Yeah, but that's-
I'm going
that's
to
what-
win the #1 contenders match, going to win
I
the
do
title.
think it's interesting to start putting AJ around them again, while we're kind of doing this little song
While
and dance.
also Dom talking about
I
maybe we should
guess.
bring in a new member.
That's cute
Right.
because AJ already said no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
and we know how AJ feels about clubs,
no, we have a Finn leaving,
right? And AJ
Never.
likes clubs.
and the Good Brothers are, I think, indeed employed.
They're gone.
Nope.
Yes.
Unemployed.
The good
They have not been
brothers are
unemployed.
unemployed.
We should add that to the list. We should have added that. I should have added that to the notes. We had a round of cuts, and they were included on that. More on that
Big-
later.
We can talk
big
about
round
that
of
after.
cuts or big rounds
Big
of people
round of
who were
cuts.
ready to leave.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Or just
so
not doing anything.
That's all that's going on.
Enjoying catering. Yeah,
AJ's
Judgment
back.
Day.
Carlito was on Raw. That was my
Carlito was
highlight.
on Raw. That's important. AJ's back, which is important. I do love me some AJ Styles. The question is, what the hell are we doing with AJ Styles going forward? Please don't mess this up, because he's like, I don't know how to tell you all this. Old.
Dude,
Absolutely.
every time I see him now,
Yeah.
I'm starting to trick all my friends into watching wrestling. So like I have multiple friends watch Raw this week. And as soon as he came on the screen, I just text them, barking intensifies.
I did get that text at some point this weekend as well. Seeing him with the cowboy hat,
What was he-
hilarious.
So was he Cowboy Braun?
He was literally dressed like Cowboy Brock. Why was he
Yeah.
dressed like that?
Is
Why
he a
not?
cowboy?
Why
Are
not?
they
He can do whatever
cowboys?
the
Are
hell he
Steiners
wants.
Cowboys? He's,
No, the
okay,
Steiners are
fair
not
enough.
Cowboys. Oh,
He's a
just-
Southern boy.
That's an interesting, just some Southern boys. Thank
Thank you. I didn't know the words. Thank you.
That's intriguing. Are we rolling? Does AJ beat him?
I'm rolling.
No.
No.
Does Braun kill him?
Yes.
It's
Braun
Grandpa.
wins.
It's Grandpa Styles right now.
Braun wins with a spear
Grandpa
off the
Styles.
phenomenal forearm attempt.
Like this isn't even AJ Styles anymore. Like I can tell that this is Grandpa Styles. Like he's old man, old head right now.
He was like,
Yeah,
I was
he-
supposed to retire like 3 months ago, y'all. Come on.
Yeah, he's like I could
Yeah,
have
it's
been
like,
gone.
damn it.
I should have
Why
been
am I
gone.
back?
Literally. It should have
They're
been
gonna.
me.
AJ
This
is gonna
is
have.
his. It should have been me run.
AJ's probably gonna do a few matches here and there, put like younger guys over. It's like Braun. I could see him and Penta doing something that may be fun. They're gonna give him at least one match with Cena on this retirement tour thing, hopefully. And then you know what? Fuck it. Let him go back to TNA for a hot minute and challenge for the TNA World Title. Why not? It'd just be fun. They have the they have the power to do that. Why not?
Man, I feel like he's not the only one that could go to TNA. There's a certain guy in American Made that's going on a quest.
Hey, he's going to AAA.
That was cute. That was cute how they did that.
He said, I'm going on
Yeah.
a quest.
He's like, I'm going on a
They
quest.
said
We-
Gable is not here because he is on a.
He's going on a
trek.
quest. Yes. I love that.
on a journey.
We've come to the point in professional wrestling in 2025, in the year of our Lord, where WWE guys are saying, yeah, I'm going on a little quest, a little excursion, if you will. Going, and they probably knowing Gable, he's going to end up in TNA and do some stuff in TNA for a bit and then come back. When, in years past, it's always been like, you hear that in New Japan where, well, they have to go on their excursion, but like, when these companies were working together outside of WWE, they're like, I'm going on, I'm leaving for a while, and they end up like on TNA or Ring of Honor or whatever, and then they go back to their home promotion afterwards. So it's cool that this is happening with like WWE talent now. It's a fun little.
I do think.
No.
I do think AJ going to TNA is the move.
I think it should be the
Right,
last thing he does. Weirdly
I
enough.
don't know about that, but I do
Yeah.
think there is like some stuff to do over there. He's not a Hall of Famer for TNA,
Nope.
Not
and
yet.
and he should be.
And now there's
So-
a deal in place, and because he was going to retire in WWE, so I
So
think this is
he-
the opportunity.
He should get his ring for that. He should come do something. I don't really know what he needs to do here. So like
he could win the title one more time. Come on,
he could win something.
Or just have him put Joe Hendry over.
Yeah, or I think a Joe Hendry move. I think a TNA Hall of Fame move. I think he kind of just does a nice little run, and then he puts over some people on this side of the fence of the deal, and he rides off into the sunset and gets his ring for WWE. I think that's kind of where we're at.
While we're on the subject of people, moving around between shows back and forth, some transferring, if you will, the elusive, the mystical, the mystifying, the transfer window is closing, and we got some final trades that have been made. So let's talk about that real quick, just to get those out of the way.
Is it a trade or a transfer?
Monday Night Raw.
Those are two different things.
It's a transfer, but you know what I mean. A talent is still being traded technically. I don't know. To Monday Night Raw, AJ Styles, we already talked about him. Logan Paul, we already knew that. That was like the first guy to be announced for the transfer window when they had the Netflix presser. A-Town Down Under, Bailey, and Roxanne Perez I added on there, but she's technically like a call-up. But I would consider it's part of the transfer window. She was transferred from NXT. So that's who Raw got. And SmackDown's got a lot more people going their way. And I think it's because of that third hour that they're going to have to deal with for a little while. And also the fact that their roster is ass right now. Ass. It's bad. Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, The Miz, Braun Strowman, The Wyatt Six, Alexa Bliss, Zelina Vega, Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, and potentially R-Truth.
Big fan of those women's moves.
Agreed.
Big fan of those women's moves.
Yep.
Big fan of Bliss going over there. Big fan of the Wyatts over there. I think it's really interesting to put Drew and Damian on the same brand. I think that's fun, and I think it's kind of weird that they're just going to make them feud with each other after going to a whole new brand where they could find everybody else.
I guess. I think it's also like smaller pond, so they can focus on each other now, and they have the history from last year's Mania. Let's not forget that. Going into this year's Mania...
We forgot.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, we did.
Forgot.
We did. So let me remind you. Going into this year's Mania, you have a rematch of the 5-minute banger that was at WrestleMania 40 Night 2, where Damian Priest cashed in the Money in the Bank contract and won the world title off of Drew McIntyre. Drew's 5 minutes of fame squashed by Damian Priest. Drew's going to get his win back this year at WrestleMania is my pick. Happens.
Too bad it's not intriguing, and it doesn't really do anything, but like whatever.
Not right now. There's plenty of time between now and late April to build it up.
I'm not saying I'm opposed. I'm just.
Oh, and who am I kidding?
Who am I kidding? This is where we're at.
Who am I kidding? They wrestled last June at Clash at the Castle as well for the world title.
Damian and Drew?
Yes.
Yeah,
that was when Punk came in and he did the what's the hand
live?
What? Clash of the Castle?
Ooh,
no,
that was Money in the Bank. Yeah.
Clash.
We were not there.
And what did he do? What's the flip off this in Scotland is like basically like an FU, like the peace sign but backwards like that. So he did that to Drew to screw him over. And I was like, why is he throwing up a peace sign? What's that about? Apparently, it's like the equivalent of the middle finger.
Huh.
So.
The more you
anyway.
know.
Any thoughts? Who wins that? I think SmackDown clears that easy.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean,
I think everybody kind of gets a W
everyone
out of that.
Wins in some kind of way. SmackDown, I wouldn't say they get the W, but they definitely benefit heavily from it. Like the kind of talent that's going over there makes things a little more interesting. Yeah, I think SmackDown will just benefit a lot more, especially now that it's 3 hours. Like, you kind of need whatever you can to beef up the time. Like, you got to make time go faster because SmackDown feels like a fucking slog right now. So
plus we're thin right now because of all the drops that we just
exactly.
did. So, and purposeful drops because we want to bring different people up to hope that they work instead of the people who we let go. So,
speaking of people let go, I guess now is probably the best time to talk about it before we continue on with our evening and hopefully talk about better things. Amid all of the transfers and everything going on with WrestleMania coming up, WWE decided to have spring cleaning a little early this year. During SmackDown, which was a little slimy, didn't like that, especially while one of the talents that was released was literally on the show that she got released from right afterwards. So yeah, released from WWE. From NXT, we had Duke Hudson, and Cedric Alexander. Big L's there. Cedric especially. He had a good run in the Cruiserweight division with the Hurt Business. He'll probably go and join the Hurt Syndicate over in AEW. We had Akam Razar and Paul Ellering from the Final Testament. Sucks for Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux. 1/3 of PFC. Sonya Deville gets the cut.
That was strange.
That was kind of strange.
They just had her in the Rumble, and they've been building her to kind of be the mouthpiece of
everything else.
PFC.
Was
everything. No, my thing with Sonya's release is, why just Sonya? Because I thought the no.
Well, they all didn't get a reaction.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? Like, let me before I get fucking flamed for this. When it got announced that Sonya was getting released, my initial thought was, okay, are they releasing Shayna and Zoe? Because, again, I feel like if you're going to release one of them, you're going to release all three. Maybe. But it was just Sonya. So I'm curious to, why keep Shayna and Zoe Stark, but not Sonya Deville? And I don't want to, put the tinfoil hat on or anything, but it was just strange to me that the decision was made like that, so...
I mean, it's very much cherry picking, and it's sure to make Sonya probably feel like shit.
Yeah.
Another situation where that happened, they released Isla Dawn, one half of the Unholy Union, and they kept Alba Fire.
That was
Kaylee
weird.
Ray. That was very weird.
That's really weird.
Wild, considering they were tag champions.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the tag.
They haven't been on screen since probably about August, but
they've
been on screen. They've been on screen, just very very
stuff,
minor
but not
roles.
a lot. Yeah, but the fact that again,
they were just in NXT recently as well. Sorry, Yusuf.
Yes. No. Sorry. The thing is again, going back to this whole thing about releasing people that are in factions together or in tag teams, the common assumption is you're going to release everyone involved, because if you're releasing one of them, it feels awkward because now moving forward, it's like you gotta just pretend that person wasn't there. It's odd. I don't give a shit about Pure Fusion Collective, but with, Unholy Union, that's a weird move. To just release Isla Dawn.
It's a very weird move. And I'm almost at this point, I don't know, they pushed, I was going to say Kaylee Ray, they pushed Alba Fire so far down the card with Isla in this tag team that now that they released Isla, I'm like, what do they do with just Alba as a single star, I mean, she's great and she'll be fine, but getting that initial run off the ground and getting us convinced that she's someone to be taken seriously, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be as invested at first. It's gonna take me a little bit to warm up, but she's gonna be a mainstay probably in either NXT or the women's mid card divisions for sure.
She'll be a mainstay. The problem is exactly that. It's just getting her back up to the mid card level, because right now the NXT women's mid card is, for lack of a better word, stacked. Stephanie Vaquer is going to be NXT North American women's North American champion at some point in the next few months, right? And from there, you've got a whole they've been doing a really good job. I got to give NXT credit here, but they've been doing a really good job at building up that mid card of Kalani Jordan, Jada Parker, even with Lash Legend and all that. Everyone involved in that, they have some kind of role in the mid card, and all those backstage segments where they're all fighting are hilarious. But for Alba Fire, it's going to be a little tough trying to push her back into everything after this, and hopefully she hopefully it's taken well and she does well. But again, odd that you release one of them and not both, or just odd that you released Isla Dawn in the first place.
Continuing on that list as well, we got Blair Davenport, who also, what a wasted talent.
Darn.
So fucking
sad.
good.
Sad.
So fucking
Actually,
good.
Big sad.
Big sad. She could have also why are you cutting these people that would be perfect for the women's mid card division that you just created? Makes no sense to me.
I mean, even with this women's mid card, there is there's less factions, there's less, I don't know, there's less intermingling. When everybody goes for the world title, it kind of makes sense because there's 4 different stories going on while somebody's going for the world title. With the mid card or even the main, there's less of that, right? The ladies aren't trying to mess with each other, or there's not this inner feud going on while the other feud is going on, so that the belt isn't the focus, but the focus. And because of that, like they seem to really only do one-on-one matches, which also kind of like puts a whole bunch of people in limbo because there are actually a lot of people. Like
there are. I thought about it the other day. There's actually a lot.
When you think about it, like I mean, we're stacked in the main event right now. Like I mean, like so in the main event, there's Damage Control, which means EO. Dakota's in the mid card. Bailey is in the upper mid card.
When Asuka's back, she could swing up to the main.
Charlotte just got back.
Becky's rumored
Nia,
to come back.
Then there's Candice. In the mid card area, there's Chelsea Green. There's Piper Niven. There's Michin. There's Alexa Bliss. There's B-Fab. Like there's a lot of people. Like Naomi, Bianca.
Jade in the wings.
Back, Jade is ready to come back. I think that we talk a lot about the NXT women's roster being stacked, but the main roster is not a slouch.
Not anymore.
And that's without putting somebody like a Becky Lynch in if Becky wants to come back. So
or a Nikki Bella.
Pass.
I think
and that's somebody who says that the Bella Twins are pioneers because they are, but no, uncool.
No. Something I've kind of noticed, and I feel like this is maybe not a glaring problem right now, but it might be very soon, is it feels like they're treating the women's mid-card on the main roster very much one step at a time. Like, they're not thinking about, like 3 months from now, 4 months from now. Like, they're not thinking about that, right? They're thinking about, okay, who is our current champions? We have Chelsea Green and Lyra Valkyria. Great. Who are we having take the belts off of them? Well, it's probably going to be these two people. Great. And then someone in the room is going to ask, well, who's going to take the belts off of them? That's not a question we're answering right now.
Oh, I was going to say, we're looking for an answer here?
Exactly, right? No, we're not looking. They're not looking for an answer here because, again, they have this giant smorgasbord of talent. Yes, it's a great women's roster in the mid-card on the main roster. That was redundant. Anyway, but they're not thinking multiple steps ahead with the mid-card titles. I feel they're very much thinking, okay, let's hold on to this as long as we can, and then eventually someone's going to dethrone the mid-card champs, and then fuck all after that. Even though we have this whole array of talent, we could be building up for the person to dethrone them after. Like, say, I don't know, say Michin actually dethrones Chelsea Green as U.S. champ. Okay, hypothetical. Man, give me a second here. Motherfucker shaking
I was gonna let that one go.
Because there was,
and then Tyler laughed.
I'm not. I don't mean to rain on parades, but they did do that with the women's United States division. They have B-Fab and Michin that have been going after Chelsea for a while, but then Zelina came in and was like, "Hey, now that I'm here now, maybe I should come after your belt." And I'm like, Yes, you should. Should.
I'm fine if it's Zelina Vega. But again, if it's Zelina Vega, they say, okay, we have Zelina. Then what?
Yeah, exactly. Then where? Yep.
Which is fine. I like that. I mean, like, for all of the glory that is, the main event scene where they're all kind of intertwined and they've been intertwined and it's super fun and there's history and blah, 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 blah. It is nice sometimes to be a little bit more contained because we don't always get it now, right? It is nice to have these little vacuum, these little pockets of things. Like, these women can go for 3 months and kind of move on, and we'll talk about it when we talk about it. But we don't have to, like, continuously talk about it.
Right.
Like, we don't continuously talk about Bailey and Io, right? Which is a conversation that maybe should be had on screen at this point. So it's nice to not always have to do that with everything. Like, not everything needs to be this long haul. Which is funny to say after, like, this is what
true. After wanting this for so long,
I mean, when it's overbearing, it's overbearing. You need a good D-line story that's just A and B and
yeah, agreed.
For the popcorn memory.
Exactly.
To keep moving down the line of releases, there, the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows.
I feel like they asked.
Darn! Oh my God! What?
But they've left before.
What? AJ was like, no, not again. They're like, sorry, AJ, we did it once for you.
AJ was they probably texted AJ being like, hey, we're releasing Gallows and Anderson. And AJ's like, okay.
Yeah, they were probably like, you know what? Whatever we want to do is just not worth it.
I'll never forget when they used to dress up and do those silly promos. Doctor,
Doctor. Phenomenal.
I will say
Phenomenal.
that was fucking
Doctor.
funny.
Phenomenal.
That was
Those were
fucking
great.
funny.
They
That
are
was their
holding
best
on
work.
to that. They are holding on to that
Yeah.
memory by a thread.
That was their best work, and they just did not let
it
them
is
run
what
with
it
it.
is.
It
But
was.
it's okay.
And
It is
then
what it
they were
is.
like,
There are better
well,
teams.
we're
There are
bored.
better teams. But
yeah,
obviously
yeah.
it sucks.
there are better
And-
teams, but the thing is, sorry, Tim, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and they just like kind of coming in, saying hi, maybe
Putting over some teams. They did it in
putting over
NXT.
put over
somebody,
people
and then
dip.
then they go back. Like
Yeah.
they're cool. Like I don't think anyone's mad at it. Triple H obviously doesn't care if they want to come back in a year or so. Triple H will be like, yeah, sure, come on.
Hell, TNA might pull him in.
Yeah.
I'm saying, which is basically
That's exactly
WWE
right,
at this
like-
point
Right.
anyway.
And then AJ
so-
will go to TNA, and then we'll get them reunited
doesn't
anyway.
even
Right,
really matter.
exactly. And like
Yep.
the Good Brothers getting released isn't the biggest shock in the world because they've been chilling and catering for God knows how long, making bank doing nothing.
6 months. They were on
They're-
NXT at some point last year.
They're like the Ben Simmons of professional wrestling.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
The immediate.
It took me like
don't do
five.
that.
It took me like 5 years to actually get emotionally invested in the Sixers again. I'm starting to admit that I'm emotionally invested,
That's fair.
and
fair.
Don't do that.
It's just
Man's
Maxie and
mad.
McCain, really.
Oh,
It
man.
is, yeah.
But don't
I
bring
know,
up Ben
I
Simmons
know,
around
I
me.
know, I know.
I'm gonna
But no,
need a
my-
minute with this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
no, let me just finish this. But with the Good Brothers getting released, it's
Oh, I thought you were
It's
going to
a
go back to
matter
Ben
of-
Simmons.
no, I'm not talking about Ben Simmons again. What else are you gonna do, right? They're chilling and catering, and everyone kind of knows their whole move, right? They go, they put teams over, they make their cash, they leave, they go to Ring or TNA, or they maybe go back to AEW. I doubt it, but knowing Tony, he's gonna be like, "Where?" and bring them right back. And then they're going to do the same thing, put some teams over, make some green, leave, and then end up back in WWE. They're going to hang with AJ for a bit. They're going to run a little trio thing again.
Yo, they're the true neutrals.
They are the true neutrals.
They're the true neutrals. They can
Yeah.
I forgot that they were in AEW.
Yep.
So freely.
Yeah.
Triple H let them go.
They were literally casually in AEW.
They casually said hi. They
Yeah.
casually said 3 matches. Casually went back to catering. Casually left. Casually came back to WWE, and we didn't say a goddamn word.
They were in AEW back when AEW was still doing a partnership with TNA, when they were doing their handshake agreement of like having talent move over, because they would occasionally appear with Kenny before like full belt collector Kenny Omega appeared, and they would go to TNA. They put some teams over. I think they won one of the tag titles at some point. Maybe I'm wrong there, but again, they show up for a cup of coffee. I think I'm wrong. I don't think they did. But anyway, so they show up. Hi, how you doing? They just put over some guys and they leave. And the next thing you know, they're back in WWE. They've done this like 3 times, and no one's batted an eye about it. And now they're gone.
And nobody seems to do the tribalism thing with them either, where they casually walk in and out. Also, I gotta say, you know who the real winner is with AEW even being a thing? TNA. I
Yeah.
forgot about their agreement.
Yep, that was the whole thing.
That's how they became relevant again.
That is how
They
they
teamed
became
with
relevant.
AEW, and then as soon as they got the better bag, they went right to WWE with everybody else.
They teamed with AEW. They let Kenny Omega hold the world title for a bit, and when he was doing the whole belt collector thing, when he was also AEW world champion. And then I want to say it was a little after Christian lost the AEW world title to, I think it was Josh Allen. I can't remember who exactly, but yeah, after that, and then the talks of TNA and AEW working together just kind of quietly went away, and everyone went, "Oh, that's weird." And then the next thing you know, NXT or TNA talent showing up on NXT. So yeah, TNA has benefited very well. from all
TNA
of this.
honestly has won coming out of COVID.
Yeah,
And good for them.
and good for
Honestly.
them. They deserve it.
Good
you
for
know?
them. That's
They've
what
had
happens when
way too many years.
it's
of
not
shit.
just 2 companies anymore.
Yeah.
They can play the middle.
Well, it could
When
have
they
been
did
4, but Ring of Honor got bought. So
TNA is
Could have
is
been
the
NWA
Swiss-
too, but we know what that.
Yeah.
TNA is
that.
the Switzerland brand of pro wrestling,
Yes.
and the Good Brothers are the Switzerland tag team of pro wrestling.
yeah, the Good
They
Brothers.
both can just
And
do
that's-
whatever they want with whomever they want, and no
Yeah.
one says a word.
No one's
No
going
one
to say
bats
a
an
word. And that's the craziest part with the tribalism thing, right? It's like anyone else, it's like, oh, but this guy jumped ship. Oh, but that guy. The fucking literally Gallows and Anderson, I'm pretty sure they were on AEW TV, and then 3 weeks later, they were back in WWE. Like,
Who else got released?
No one's
I was gonna
questioning.
say this is the longest segment of the night. You can
Why
tell
not?
it's a slow news week for us here.
Did we talk about the Authors of Pain?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
briefly.
That
Guys,
sucks.
I'm gonna need a minute with this one. I'm gonna need all of the sympathies because my boy.
Oh, Giovanni Vinci.
Giovanni
Giovanni
Vinci
Vinci was on
was
this
right.
list. That sucks too.
That does
Yeah.
suck.
And it only sucks because they gave this gimmick that I think people latched onto. I think Tyler did. Tyler did, yes. But I don't completely know the internet's response to that. But I think that's intriguing that they looked to start this story. It went for about 2 weeks, then it stopped. There were more important things.
And then
to
he was
worry
seen
about.
backstage in a very minor segments, and then he was gone.
And then we didn't do anything.
Yep.
And
Nothing.
not for nothing. It was kind of people kind of called it a Vinceism. It was one of these weird, we're gonna make him look
One of those
goofy
stereotype
because it's funny."
things. Yeah, one of those tropes.
because he's foreign.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's this weird, endearing thing about it, and for 2 weeks, people were like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. I'm kind of curious." Just because there was it was a bipolar opinion too. It was "Oh, this is the most ridiculous thing.
Very
They
polarizing.
have to do something." Or everybody who's laughing who thinks that they get it because they think we're being played. So they're laughing with the play because they're not.
Yeah.
They don't want to get played. Either way, somebody's getting played, and it was fun. And then
I don't mean to be I don't mean to root for anyone to lose their job, because obviously all of these people losing their job, it's very unfortunate. But Apollo Crews is still employed. Come on. There are other people that are in a very similar, if not worse, position than Vinci was, who had fair shots multiple times and are still there, and Vinci's not. And it does suck. It does suck. And this guy, if they didn't pull him out of Imperium, could be in a main event faction right now. Think about it. If they didn't pull him out of Imperium, and that's part of what frustrated me, was that was the spot for him. That was the spot. But the difference was he didn't have the personal connection to Gunther that Ludwig has. Ludwig literally came up with Walter Gunther in the Independents and have been friends for a long time.
very strange though. They did have a huge run and a huge successful run though. So
Right.
in
NXT.
That was
NXT
weird.
UK.
And they kind of just dropped him and then didn't do anything.
And they brought him back.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
it was all very strange. They did him a little dirty. I mean, whatever. Nothing caught on, right? The being kicked out of Imperium didn't catch on. The other gimmick, I guess, didn't catch on. Whatever happens.
Nothing caught on. The way they were handling Vinci after he got kicked out of Imperium felt like when they used to do you remember those old Cesaro promos they used to do? He'd be in a suit. Swiss Superman. You remember those? It felt a lot like that, but they did nothing with it. It also just didn't catch on as well. I think
could have been that.
He could have been that. That's the unfortunate part, right? With Giovanni Vinci is it just didn't. Something about it didn't catch on backstage. Right?
I want him to
They
come
were
back.
they tried everything they could, maybe, but dropping him from Imperium, I think, really dropped the ball, and that's just kind of was the beginning of the end for him, unfortunately. Whereas again, you look at who else is sitting in catering doing nothing right now. Shout out Apollo Crews. Who else? Who else is currently doing nothing? Shinsuke Nakamura is not doing shit, even though he holds the title. So there's plenty of guys that could have actually said, "Hey, you know what? Thanks, but no thanks." Giovanni Vinci, it's hard. Just again, the mid card scene trying to put him up there when you have on the SmackDown side, it's what right now? It's IC titles. Who's on that? No, it's the US title on SmackDown. Who's even doing that? Oh no, it's Nakamura. Right. So nothing's fucking going on there.
Who's also I'm the biggest Shinsuke supporter. Fuck this title reign. This has been ass.
Oh,
this
dude,
has been
sucks.
garbage.
It's
garbage.
hot garbage.
This man's gimmick is just hiding in the background when you're watching the TV. He's this far in the background where he's the size of a fucking peanut, and he's just in the background watching everything. Fucking get in the ring and defend your title.
Like a ninja.
So dumb. So dumb. I don't care.
Except he was dressed as a
Ninjas aren't in wrestling except in the pandemic era.
Don't tell
We don't
that.
need to talk about that either.
Tim needs his ninjas. What are you talking about?
I wouldn't say they were just in the pandemic era. That's not accurate. I think I remember being about 9 years old seeing the ninjas.
Sir.
Wait a minute.
I don't think those were ninjas, bro.
That's still,
Who took Samoa Joe?
Unrelated, that is still one of my favorite Tim moments ever.
So
Was just
funny.
watching that pay-per-view during the pandemic, and you just hear Tim go, "There are ninjas on my screen."
Yeah, literally.
Why?
No, the excitement though.
Yeah. Then it became like,
I was like,
Anyway,
yes.
So
Don't do
there's so
that.
many other people you could have released, but unfortunately, Giovanni Vinci got the short end of the straw. And
What
it
else we
sucks,
got?
but it's unfortunate at the end of the day. What else do we
The
got?
very last release was the person that was literally on SmackDown that night as they were releasing talent, Elektra Lopez.
Was she on SmackDown that night?
Yep, she was in a
So-
backstage
so-
interaction.
So Electra is super green. I think is the
Yes,
is the big
but she was
problem
a
with
good
her.
mouthpiece for Legato.
She can talk,
But-
I think that is curious considering it looked like they wanted to start giving her time.
Yeah, it did. Very much so, especially with the mid-card title. Again, you're cutting women that could be fighting for your mid-card titles you just created. Like, make
well.
it make sense. Make it make sense.
Oh well, no one's attached.
Also-
I don't. And no one's attached to the LWO, so it's fine.
I gotta say, like, obviously, I think I speak for all of us when I say I hope that every single person on that list finds all the success in the world that they deserve, and I'm sure that they will. Anyone who comes into this company is immensely talented, and they're going to find success no matter where they go and what they do.
Wow.
So it's going to be great. Just sucks that they all lost what probably is their dream job. But also, fuck WWE for having cuts while the show is on. Like, that's ass. That's ass.
I'm sure that there was probably a time where they were doing cuts, either or at least making the list beforehand.
Well,
It's a little
announcing-
weird that they're doing it during the show a little bit, but
Yeah.
again, like this isn't any nastier than things that they've done before with releases. To me,
No, but
it
well,
still releases.
they weren't doing it during
is what
shows
it is.
before. So
Oh my gosh, we're always gonna find something to complain about it. But
well,
either way,
imagine you go and do your job, and as soon as you're done, you're like, "Yeah, good job, you're fired." What? What? What do you mean? That's ass. No one wants that. There are people too, you know. It sucks.
I understand that.
No, I'm
And
not coming at you. I'm just like I'm angry about the situation.
I don't love it, but I just think that we have other
It's a necessary evil. For sure.
evils that are just as evil.
Yeah. Also, to jump over to AEW,
No.
3 releases over there. Big names. Big names. First up, Malachi Black. Official release.
Yawn.
Cool.
Second up, Miro. It's Rusev Day, bitches.
Yawn.
And third up,
But it's a lit yawn.
who's probably going to debut sometime between now and Stand and Deliver, Ricky Starks.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Also,
fun.
The pettiness of waiting to finally agree to release them after the Rumble is so obvious, bruh.
Are
Oh,
you?
they absolutely
I feel like
didn't want Ricky Starks
yeah,
showing
what
up
the
in
fuck?
that
They
thing.
didn't want Ricky Starks showing up at the
Absolutely.
Rumble.
Any
Yeah.
of them. Any of them.
Absolutely.
Malachi was the most likely.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that,
but
that's the
Malachi
thing.
doesn't matter.
It's unfortunately,
No, but no,
unfortunately, it's okay.
No, I know.
Unfortunately, it is pettiness. Yeah, but at the same time, like, if you're a rival wrestling company, I'm sure you'd be the same way.
100%.
If you look at it from the business perspective, don't shrug me. Like, that's just the
I'm
fact,
laughing.
right?
I just find it fun.
That's just it. At the end of the day, like, there's no fucking way Tony in his right mind was gonna release the 3 of them before the Rumble because he knows straight up that they are showing up at the Rumble if they are released before that. So yeah, fuck it, wait it out. Unfortunately, it sucks because that's more time they have to sit doing nothing. But at least they're free.
Agree. The last thing you want is Ricky Starks AEW homegrown, because that would be huge. Just
Yeah.
from the fact that that's a AEW homegrown. That would be huge. So absolutely, you don't want to risk that. Absolutely.
Yeah, that company's
get
a
it.
mess.
Good
That company
Good
fucking
on them though
sucks.
for getting out of Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah,
Guantanamo.
Congrats.
Life after Guantanamo.
life after Guantanamo, baby.
I hope they feel
Yo,
free.
Free
I
my
hope
boy
the-
Ray Phoenix.
I hope the fog has lifted. I hope that they get to experience all of their pro wrestling dreams elsewhere, because some of them will not come to WWE.
Oh, Miro's going to
And that
TNA.
is Totally okay.
Miro is going to TNA, and Ricky and Malachi are coming to WWE. There's no way Malachi does not come back. He's a Triple H guy through and through. Triple H
Yeah.
loves that man.
He'll gladly come back. Miro, yeah, probably goes to TNA because he doesn't really have a lot of other options.
He could
Can't
come
go
to
to-
WWE.
That would
I
be
really
He
think
could come back. He could. But, I mean, the thing is, you go to TNA, there's
Yo.
more reason for him to dick around in TNA.
Miro versus
Uh-huh.
Oba.
Miro Day.
Nah, it's gonna be Rusev when he
He's
comes
going to
back.
be back
but
to Rusev.
Imagine
yeah.
Rusev versus Oba Femi.
That'd be fun.
The meat.
Rusev,
Although
the
I don't know
meat.
if here's the problem though. I don't know if Rusev can go the same way he did, a couple
Yeah.
years.
10 years
But that's
ago.
why
he's
you put
kind
him in
of been-
NXT, right?
He's been away for a
old.
long time,
Yeah.
and he's gotten older.
Mhm.
He hasn't gotten any
NXT
younger.
legend Rusev.
Yes,
He was barely in NXT. He was there for a cup
that's
of coffee.
the point.
NXT legend.
NXT legend.
Wow.
They call Roman Reigns an alumni. He had one match.
Yeah,
That's
The
true.
fuck it-
Leaki.
And it wasn't even Roman.
Wasn't that an FCW though? Was that technically NXT at that point?
Roman was in FCW. Leaki had
Leaki
one
was
match in
right.
Roman.
Leaki had one
In-
match
in
in
NXT. Yeah,
Roman never officially was in NXT as a straight up NXT superstar.
Leaki is Emil's
Very
Roman
strange.
Empire.
that's fine.
Very strange.
I mean, who
Um,
else
Then he
but
came
the-
back as Roman and when they
Right.
came back as the Shield.
Okay.
Which side tangent to the side tangents.
Oh
We're
my God.
totally off track right now.
Yes,
Has
we
anyone
are.
seen the WWE NXT YouTube channel with all the old NXT episodes?
Yes.
No.
That's great.
Seth,
Yeah.
Seth had the NXT title
Yeah, he was the first
as
champion.
a member of the Shield.
Yes, he
I
did.
didn't know that.
Yes,
So
I
he
did not know
started,
that.
he won the title not in the Shield, then they started the Shield, and then they were like, Seth Rollins is coming back to NXT with the title. And then he came back as a big heel, and then Big E was like, I'm here. I'm beating
And then
your
Big
ass.
E,
And then
and then
Big E
Big
won.
E ate him.
And then Big E ate him.
That middle part though I didn't know. I knew Seth won and it was before the Shield.
Yeah.
And I knew Big E had won. I didn't get the middle part though. I was like, that's
Yeah.
fucking
It
cool.
was very
Yeah.
creative. It was very well done.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it gave the Shield kind of a chance to figure it out on the small stage while they were also figuring out on the big stage.
On the
which
big stage, yeah.
Definitely.
they were running the Dom schedule before the Dom schedule existed.
I'm
Yeah.
dead. Speaking of big stages, we have our first WrestleMania match officially announced. Jey Uso opens up Monday Night Raw this week, and he comes out and he's yeeting all over the place. He stands on the commentary table. He's ready to yeet some more with Cole and Pat and all the gang and all the fans. And then all of a sudden, whoa, what's going on? Oh, he's getting attacked. And Gunther comes out and beats the shit out of him. Goes to take his coat off and throws it at a kid.
That was awesome.
That was wild.
I hope the kid got to keep the jacket.
Yeah.
Oh, that kid absolutely
Gunther
got...
was looking fly too.
Yeah.
He was
all
looking
black.
good.
The
man.
fire,
That was a
fire
fit.
boots, man.
That was a nice
Yo,
fit.
Gunther's
The
back,
fire.
baby.
He had the boots.
That's
the-
my
the-
champion, bro.
the-
That's my ring general.
The muscles was poking. Like he was working.
Dude, that's
Gunther was
him.
outside. Gunther was outside on Monday.
Yeah, man, he was. And so, dude, like between last week or the last episode of Raw, because you didn't really get to talk about it on the last episode, you were mostly focused on the Rumble itself. But the promo that Gunther and Jay had last week, where Gunther was like, beating you at WrestleMania doesn't add anything to
Oh,
my
we were
legacy,
cooking.
bro. That was fucking nuts.
We were cooking.
That
And
was nuts.
He's, as you said, like he drops all these truth bombs, and that was a
yeah.
massive truth bomb.
Oh,
'cause
absolutely.
absolutely. He's 100%
Yeah.
right. That does nothing for him.
Right, he already beat him, but it was at Saturday
Twice.
night's main event, so the canonic
doesn't
nature
matter.
of it is debatable. But then also, if you choose me, every week is going to be hell. Like
I
that
love
is
that.
that is Gunther. Like that is what
Except he
Gunther
didn't
should
wait
have
for him
been.
to choose him.
Well, you're right, but
10 weeks of hell, baby. 10 weeks of hell.
weeks.
10
Yeah,
weeks
man.
of hell.
That's
But-
a long time.
Gunther
A long
starts his
build.
assault on Jay, and then Jay's like, "Hey, yo, Gunther, what do you mean?" And we're like, "Wait, he has a mic after that? He wants to talk after that?" And he waits for about 5 minutes of doing the and he goes, "I shouldn't say this." Thank you. I knew you'd pop. That was for you.
It's a little goofy.
It was a little much, but then he's like,
Little-
"Me and
little
you
silly.
at WrestleMania," and the crowd popped heavy.
It's a
So
little celery.
we now celery.
A little
We
crunchy.
now have our
around.
first WrestleMania 41 match announced. Got the card, we got the graphic, we got all of it. It is Gunther versus Jey Uso for the world title. Yo, I'm here for WrestleMania Balatro edition.
That looked sick. I'd
WrestleMania
almost buy a
Balatro.
ticket.
So you want to
I'd
pay
almost-
$1,000?
Per night? No.
Per night.
$1,000? No, that's what I'm saying. That's what
For,
I'm
for
saying.
400 section? Ugh.
Ass.
We ain't got money
Everyone,
for that.
everyone looks like peas. Everyone's the size of ants.
So we're going with the Jay story.
The
all
Jay
of this-
theory.
We're going with the Jay theory. It is what it is.
the yeet theory, if you will.
Here's the only issue that I currently have right now, and this is where I did my heel turn last night because I was yeeting along with them. So here's where my heel turn happened though. It's about halfway through the night I realized everybody lost their entrance.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like,
But also,
oh, so Jay took too much time.
no. They chose not to do that.
I know to
They
make
can
Jay special.
they can
I
have
got
Raw
it.
Netflix go as long as they wanted to.
So why are we
Sure,
cutting everybody's entrance, bro? I wanna
Because
see
they
people
wanted
there.
to.
Because they
That's
felt
no,
like
you know what
it.
it is? Because they didn't want to hear people to complain about these theme songs. That's what they.
Probably.
Yeah, honestly, that's probably
yeah.
what it was. It was
Because
all the people
visuals
that,
look great.
who were the
theme
people
song
that
is-
had
theme
cut
song
entrances.
Damage Control had a cut entrance.
Oh, their entrance is kind of lit. Their
Bailey
theme's lit.
had a cut
Oh,
entrance.
That's
ass
lame.
theme. Yep, ass.
Yeah, ass
okay.
theme, but
Can you remember any more? I don't remember any. That's why I'm asking you.
Offhand, I'm trying to. I don't remember.
Did American Made have their entrance or no?
No.
Ass next. Actually, it's not ass. They just
it's fine.
it's fine. Yeah. There's the you suck,
Uh,
and that's what matters.
That's all it is. It's just
So,
a Kurt Angle
I mean,
ripoff.
I mean, there were like what 5 or 6 matches, and 3 or 4 of them had.
And it was a 2.5-hour show.
Had no
Yeah.
entrances though. Like, come
It
on.
ended before 10:30.
On.
Bro, you
I'm-
froze that in that position. That was funny.
Thumbnail.
Dead ass.
But come on, bro.
Come on.
Like y'all wildin'. We can't get an entrance. It takes an extra minute.
Bro,
You're
they-
telling me we couldn't end at the show at 10:35?
Your
Like,
show
kiss
ended
my
at
ass.
10:25, bro. You could go a
Yeah,
little
I
extra
would-
10 minutes.
I
Kiss
would
my
not
goddamn
be
ass with
complaining.
that.
Exactly. You can get.
Oh,
I
my
mean,
Lord.
it's probably.
Like I can't
in-
see Bailey go down the ramp. Like what is that? Also,
Right.
Bailey's theme is kind of lit.
No, it's not.
I kind of like
It's
Bailey's
ass.
theme.
You know who has a new
That's hard.
ass?
You're bugging.
It's generic as hell.
It makes no sense, but it's
Role model.
Look, we don't like everything.
Oh,
Yeah, I love the
Yeah,
I-
CFO did it too, but nobody said a goddamn word
because
when
they didn't
did
do it for everybody's.
yeah. They didn't do it for everybody. That was the thing.
Well, they did Ryback. Feed me more.
Later we changed Logan. Later we changed Logan Paul's theme.
Hey yo, that theme's not bad.
That's fine.
That theme fits him.
It's
I
fine.
think it does fit him.
His
That's the
theme
thing, right?
before
He's-
was generic. It was good, but it was
Yes.
generic.
Actually, I would say it was underrated hero-esque almost, like
Yeah,
like the.
But he's
like
not
the,
a hero.
no.
Well, that is big
And-
fact.
and he knows
this
he's not a
version
hero
of Logan
now.
Paul is definitely.
I was gonna
not a
say
hero.
the last version he was kind of like a hey,
Like this
I'm here, everyone cheer for me.
He's
Oh,
not
you don't
the
like me?
unsung hero anymore. He's definitely
Right.
like the
Like,
y'all don't like me.
Like he knows.
played
like, now
into,
I know y'all
like,
don't like me.
yeah.
Fuck you all.
which
You know.
which is also really interesting where this turn happened because we kind of just liked him and then all of a sudden we booed him and we're booing him for things that he's done outside of pro wrestling and
Yeah.
we're booing him for things that are outside of pro wrestling that happened like 10 years
There was
ago.
definitely
So,
a
like,
heel turn somewhere.
I'm confuzzled.
I'm hard pressed to find it, but there
it's-
was definitely.
But it's fine. All of a sudden he has Dom levels of heat and it's worth it.
It was great. They
So
didn't even
it's
let him
fine.
talk. They didn't even let him talk.
Punk said, "Whose music was that?"
Well, that's because it was night one.
and Pat went, "That seems to be a recurring theme around here."
That promo was the promo.
So
was,
they had a promo.
it was the most.
That was a great segue into that segment.
It was, but it was the most like uneventful promo. Like it was. They definitely exchanged words.
We were definitely all waiting for them, and then we were all still waiting after Punk left.
Yeah.
We're still waiting right now. Like we're still watching our screen, kind of just like, are they gonna?
Well, they
It
won't
makes
be.
me
gonna-
almost
is somebody
think-
gonna?
Are they
I like
gonna,
that they withheld
you know,
themselves, though. I like that they held themselves.
It makes me almost think between Punk taking a jab at him before the Rumble, Paul eliminating him at the Rumble, and this promo. Did they do Punk and Paul?
Does the other Paul come in?
No. Fuck God, no.
We're
Does
not.
this have something to do with the favor?
Logan Paul is the
The
favorite.
Logan Paul is the favor. The
No.
Paul theory.
No. What?
Logan
in
Paul
what-
Heyman brought in Logan Paul.
No. In
no,
what way does
no.
that do any Punk any favor?
It doesn't do shit for shit.
Oh man.
I think they might just have Logan Paul and Punk at like
I
don't know.
overcooked that one. My bad.
Oh no, they can't do the chamber because they're both going to be in the chamber. Shit.
One of them pins the other.
Yeah.
And sets up what? They're not just gonna do it for nothing at this point.
I don't. So now
Well-
all of a sudden things got to be for something.
It's
No,
Now
it's
things
gonna,
I've been saying
You've been
everything
trying to
counts.
put- you've
I've
been-
been saying everything
You've
counts.
been trying to get everybody else in a match except for the world title.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You were like, "Oh, 6-man random tag match that does
Yeah,
nothing." But let's
it
do
did
it.
do something. They were all telling stories with each other. You just didn't
yeah,
like
but
it.
you don't want
That's
to.
fair.
It,
I don't like this. I don't like this Logan. I don't like this Logan Paul CM Punk match either. I don't
Neither
like
do
it.
I, but it's
Okay.
better than what.
It also doesn't do anything
I mean,
for any
the problem.
either of them either.
The problem is right
Either
now
all of it does
is-
nothing for everybody, or none of it does everything for all of them.
Anyway,
No.
Tim definitely just said words. There's a bit of a problem that we're kind of starting to see here with the booking going into Mania, and that is everything's a fucking mess. Because, like, we know Jay Gunther, great. We know Tiffany Charlotte is probably happening, great. Cody versus Wabadu is probably happening, great. Everything else underneath that is just Triple H and the rest of creative fucking throwing darts at a board, being like, "You think this works? Yeah, maybe this works. I don't know.
There's
This
no
works."
way they're throwing darts at a board. There's no way. If this was Vince, I would absolutely
I don't
agree.
know. Right. And I want to fully believe that they're not throwing darts at a board. However, things are looking a little like we're
What happened to
mid-February.
we had this card done in October? What happened to
This
that
isn't the card that was done in October.
This
the
is
one,
not the card they
the
had
one in
planned for
What
October.
happened to that energy?
Dwayne
Because the
couldn't
one in
work
October
WrestleMania.
featured.
I saw
Wanye.
somebody today, speaking of Dwayne, make an interesting take that we're all now mad that we're not getting this Roman Rock match, and they blamed it on us booing Rock coming in last year, because Rock had all of this open schedule last year to come do Mania, and now he has no schedule and he can't do Mania, and we're all sad about it.
maybe if Dwayne wasn't too busy
I was
filming
like,
his
interesting,
shit
but also I'm
Disney
cool.
movies, like maybe doing something, but. Here we are. Dwayne's busy, can't do Mania, supposedly. So because he can't, that means we don't get Roman Rock. And because
Are we
don't
still
get
there?
Roman Rock,
Do we still believe that?
My end point was Rumble. So yeah, I think Rock's not involved.
He has no reason to show up at the chamber
None.
because Roman's gone.
Roman currently
Roman's not
is-
here.
Well, Roman's out with jargon. I got
Yeah,
it.
Roman-
exactly.
like
right?
Roman and Seth is
until
the
March,
match.
it should be Roman and Seth. But where's Punk fall into all that?
I think I'm thinking more and more that Punk's getting the Logan Paul match at this point.
Yeah.
But what does that do for anybody? Notice how we've
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It gives them a Mania match.
gives them a
with
Mania
big
match.
opponent, with a big opponent. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
that's just where we're at. This card,
Aye.
this card feels like Plan C or Plan D. Like it does not
Yeah.
feel like Plan A. It
Well,
really
here's-
doesn't.
I think the problem though, because if you call it Plan C or Plan
I'm
D,
lost.
that means these plans were already like accounted for and thought about.
no.
But
These are
I
the plans that we're crash booking.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm pointing that way. Exactly. This is it just feels like crash booking because like Plan A was Dwanye, right? Plan B was probably something else. That we're just getting like they don't have a Plan C or D. This is just them being like, "What the fuck do we do now?" Oh.
I'm mad that Dwanye got me because that's also every single typo I've ever had of Dwayne ends up Dwanye.
I call him that for. Have you never heard me
I
call?
know,
I
no,
call him
I have.
Dwanye
I
the
just-
Rock Johnson.
I have. I just forgot about it.
Dwanye Johnson. Dwanye the Rock.
John the Dwanye
James.
Roxon. Anyway,
Rock
yeah,
the
so
I could make
Rock
a
the Dwayne
I could make a
Johnson.
real
There it
bad
is.
joke in light of recent
Yeah.
events that I won't make.
anyway, yeah, it's all. It feels like crash
none of us
booking right now.
none of us believes in the Rock theory. All of us believe that we are fully guessing at this point a little bit.
Wait, did y'all see the
Kind of.
memes of Rock dapping up Jay the night of like Raw after Rumble? That shit was funny.
Huh?
It was like the photo
Oh,
of Rock dapping
yeah.
Cody,
Oh,
but they
okay.
put Jay's
They
head
put
on it.
Jay there. Ah.
Yeah, it was funny.
I'm kind of there is a level of like I'm just waiting for that bigger superstar in the distance to come and take your spot that hasn't been around in a while, and he's talking about Roman.
Right.
I just don't know what it is, man. I think I want to say it's the triple threat, but I keep seeing Punk and Logan Paul cross paths way too much for it to mean nothing. Once or twice, sure, that's foreshadowing. But like
Post Rumble, now it's like, all right, we might mean something.
that's what I mean.
I
that
got it.
and okay,
We get
man.
Punk and Paul. Right. That still happens. That's
Okay.
night 1 of Mania. Night 2, it's the main event. It's Cody coming down to the ring in a chariot of fire in the Homelander jacket, screaming as the crowd woes with him. John Cena, jorts and all, runs down to the ring, just wabadoos everywhere. They have their match. And then the favor. No? Fuck.
bro, he's freezing at the most suspenseful
Oh,
time.
did I freeze?
You froze at like
Hello?
both of the
No!
times.
At the favor, what happened to the favor? So
Yeah,
what's the favor?
Yeah.
The favor is Paul's just like, ladies and gentlemen, blah, 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 blah. We're going to put Punk in the fucking main event of Cody and Cena.
Punk in the bank.
Okay. The
Punk in the
Punk
bank.
theory.
Yeah,
The Punk theory.
The Punk in the bank.
Because
theory.
that fucking, like, here's the thing about...
The favor theory?
What I hate sometimes with WWE it's just pro wrestling in general, is they'll bring up something that makes it feel like it's supposed to be important, and then they just never talk about it again. Like the addendum of the ladder match between Kevin.
What was the fucking addendum?
What the fuck was the addendum, Nick Aldis? We'll never know.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Adam Pearce is the better GM. He would never have brought up an addendum to not acknowledge it again.
But now the favor, yeah, exactly. The favor thing intrigues me because, it was on camera for a reason at the end of Survivor Series. It was brought up right before the Rumble. It was brought up during the broadcast of the Rumble. What the fuck is this favor? Because it has to be something bigger. Like, we know it. We all assume it's a title match. What exactly is the process of this favor, though?
I've seen the favor. I've seen people speculate that they do the Roman Seth Punk triple threat, and the favor is Paul pulls strings to make it a number 1 contenders match. Winner gets added to Cody Cena the night after.
Oh.
So we're pulling a Mania 30.
I don't want it. I personally don't want it. But because I want Mania 40, like that whole thing with the 2-night thing of like night 1 affecting night 2. I want that to be so rare and so special for that one Mania. And
they shouldn't do it
right
back to back.
After.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't do it back to back.
No, dog. Like, that hurts.
I mean, it's just a fan theory, bro. It's just a fan theory.
No, I know
So,
it is. But
I just really hate that. The emotion behind all of 40 just...
Yeah, man.
You can't.
It feels like... it also feels like a bit of a cop-out for a world title that you're having a contenders match the night before. Because it's just like...
It devalues the Chamber and the Rumble.
Exactly,
Facts.
right? And it also low-key just devalues the feud going into it.
Yeah.
For that match. Because, like, if you have Cody Cena, right, you have the feud going in, they probably cut some great promos, yada, yada, yada. But then if you announce, oh, by the way, this triple threat between 3 of our biggest fucking names in the company is going to be a number 1 contenders, winner gets added to the world title match tomorrow night, it just devalues the feud that was... Like, it devalues the story that was being told.
And it's extra strange if they don't interact, but then it's oversaturation if they do interact. So like that's rock and a hard place type thing. Like you can't do that.
Yeah.
Cute, but no.
Cute, but no.
Very cool.
So so KO is no selling all the attacks by Cody, huh?
Hate it.
So
hate it.
Kevin Owens cuts a promo in his car on Sami Zayn, one of those car videos again, where KO is like, Sami, you are a terrible friend and a disgusting, he said it like that, disgusting human being. And I was like, damn, that's daggers going right into Sami right there. KO's pissed that Sami did not help him and just stood by while Cody pulverized him. I
care less about that point, but talk about the other point that he makes, please.
Go ahead. No, you do it. You do it.
So in that same vein of that point where he goes, I think you're a piece of trash for not helping me. Here's where the actual part matters. He helped Roman Reigns again. Right? We again, everybody, Roman Reigns is like everybody's side chick that you can't ever seem to get away from. Like everybody seems to kind of just gravitate back to Roman Reigns. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Relax.
Yeah, Drew.
that wasn't who I was talking about, but it's fine.
It's one of many answers.
It is. And that's just what it is. He's mad that he helped out Roman again while not helping him. It's not that he didn't help him. It's mad that he didn't help him and he helped out Roman in a match that he's trying to win, which then got eliminated, ironically, by one of his new best friends.
True.
Which we didn't bring up, but is also a point that should probably be brought up at some point.
He got eliminated by Jay in the Rumble, and there was a moment of tension where Jay was like, "Listen, I'm sorry, man," and Sami looked pissed for a minute, and he was like, "Nah, no, I'm just kidding, man." Which has me almost like, what if Sami cost Jay against Gunther?
I doubt it. I don't think they.
A little convoluted.
A little.
Anyway, let's stay here though with this KO Sami thing though. So in this same promo, you may continue.
Oh, I mean.
Did we get the end? Did we get to the end?
That was pretty much it. Those 2 points of like you helped Roman, but you didn't help me, and you were standing right there as Cody beat me to a pulp.
All right, so fuck all this. Like I'm cool.
Really?
Like, now I mean I said I was cool before we got to this point. Because we all acquiesced that this was probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Because there was just nowhere else to go for
cop
these
out
two.
storytelling.
Definitely cop out storytelling. Would definitely no selling, which I hate. So me and you didn't get to talk about Cody, and I still haven't gone back and rewatched it. So I don't want to get into if that match.
Oh, I completely wanted to avoid that.
I know you 180'd on me though. So Tyler is completely 180 on me, as I kind of expected.
Sure.
And now looking at some of the only things I've seen was the Twitter video that he sent me of the Alabama Slam. I may have been wrong, only slightly. I still believe that this was a beheading, and I actually still believe that this was the moment.
I'd agree.
I'd maybe misread the
Oh,
crowd.
I definitely don't.
For whatever reasons, I was thinking. I swear there was at some point watching live.
It's the
like, I
energy
was
of the
sitting
room,
here,
man.
And there was random booing, and I was like, "What are we booing?" Like I even texted that. I was like, "What are we booing?"
Yeah.
They're just standing there. Like there should be no booing.
I mean, like you're not wrong. There was definitely booing. There just wasn't. I just don't think there was as much as you were making it out to be on the show.
But this was definitely. But like. Still though, like we do agree that this was like should have been a beheading, right?
Yep.
Like the way it looked.
Yep.
Like that was.
He shouldn't have.
Then what?
Yep.
So what are we doing? He showed up 2 days later.
Yep.
After Cody sold for him.
Yeah.
And Cody didn't have to sell. Cody took days off. Cody took a pay-per-view off essentially, where he didn't wrestle.
Yeah.
And he's the guy who wants to do that. And like he's the guy who was fighting for that Winged Eagle belt, and he let Kevin Owens hold it for the feud, and he didn't have to do that either.
Nope. But
I think this is really, really whack. I really don't like this.
it's definitely.
And I don't
strange.
like it because Kevin's just not selling.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
At all.
Because even again, going back to not the dedication of logic, but like, Roman takes 2 stomps, and he's out with medical jargon. We don't hear from him. We have not heard any updates about Roman Reigns. Nothing. Right? Roman's just out. Kevin literally got murdered at the Rumble, and yet he showed up 2 days later. He's on Raw again in his car, cutting promos, and you're like, hey, aren't you supposed to be like? And it's not even that he's like selling that he died. Like he doesn't have bandages on his head or anything, did he? No, right? Yeah. It looked like
He had the
nothing
gash,
happened.
but that was just a natural gash that just occurred on his body. Like it's a real cut.
Right. But like nothing. Like the no selling of this is weird, for lack of a better word, and I don't like it, which is
very weird,
unfortunate, because Kevin Owens is a great talent and everything, but like I don't understand. I always want to say there's a reason for everything, but I don't know if there is this time. Yeah.
The reason
KO.
is neither of them have anything significant to do, and this is the best option.
They want to give him a payday because they deserve to be on the biggest show of the year. I get it. And there's nowhere to go, and that truly sucks.
Yeah.
I actually kind of wish we could do this in Toronto.
I actually kind of wish.
I also wish we could do this in Toronto.
One, because I want to see it, and this has been going on for 10 years now, and there are only so many Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn matches left in us.
No.
And our patience and their careers. And they've been doing this for like 25 years. And like it's their home country. Like we can kind of grudge match it in a big setting because it's in the Sky Dome. But
and they both have even more motivation. They want to win in front of their people.
But and it opens up their Mania a little bit more because you can kind of like button it with like a little one match thing. It doesn't have to be this big thing because they've already had this big thing. So, but whatever.
Related. Has anyone, in regards to this feud, seen the Karrion Kross bit from recently? You know what I'm talking about?
Was he yapping to Sammy?
He's been yapping to Sammy.
So Karrion Kross there was a video that hit recently on like the social spheres about how Karrion Kross tried to get a hold of Sammy after he took the pile driver from KO and left him 2 things: a note and a mask.
Ooh,
of his dear friend El Generico.
I was gonna pop for the note just to ignore the.
I know you can ignore the Generico part, but yeah. So Karrion Kross left a Generico mask and a note to Sami Zayn.
No, because I'm laughing now at the SpongeBob. Hey, look, SpongeBob, a letter.
A letter.
Oh, look, a note.
Pretty much. We're not getting
that. That's how I feel about
this. Let's not get our hopes up. Sorry, let me not get my hopes up.
I just want that tornado DDT through the rope.
Yes, I want that tornado DDT back. I missed that DDT.
Other than that, like
But
if
yeah.
Kevin Owens can bring back the package pile driver, we can one. I know like it kind of almost kills Sammy.
Yeah, but
Please, Daddy Paul, please.
And he is like 42 now or something. Like he's not young anymore.
But yeah, I mean, let it happen. Toronto would be the best place for it because Canadian boys. Although if they were in Montreal, it would be better.
Montreal,
because they're Montreal boys. But I mean, it'll still be a fun match at Mania. Kevin Owens is always known for having the more bombastic matches at Mania. So him and Sammy, 15 minutes. It's a good opener.
Well, not him and Jericho.
We don't talk about that.
That match was ass.
We don't talk about
Was
that
it?
one. Yes.
I don't remember it.
That's
exactly.
part of why it's ass.
Ass.
All right, so
speaking of ass,
Solo's back.
for why, bro? Again,
At a weirdly convenient time.
no, this is very inconvenient.
At a weirdly,
No, it's not.
at a weirdly convenient
This is
time.
very
While
inconvenient.
Roman Reigns happens to be out.
gone. Yeah.
Oh, this
While
is-
Roman happens to be not here, our tribal chief, our Lord and Savior, Solo Sikoa, has come back to once again fight Cody.
I'm telling the tribal chief.
I hate
I
everything,
was
man.
waiting for someone to say something.
fucking.
I didn't have I was trying to think of something snarky.
Why the
So
fuck
this
are
is
we?
bullshit.
Why are we doing this again?
This is bullshit.
Why the fuck are we doing this again?
So Solo and Tyler here in the notes says we're somehow getting the Solo and Jacob. However, we don't understand how. We kind of just think we're kind of stuck here. We kind of just don't have room for this.
It's just to give Cody a
So-
match before Mania. I really think
I'm
that's
cool.
it.
We're getting
I'm cool.
Cody and Solo at Chamber? No, thank you.
Probably.
No.
No.
Well,
No.
they
Hey,
pushed
money
Rhea.
to see that show.
They decided
No.
to have Rhea and Io on the Raw after Chambers, so you're getting the title, bro. You're getting the
you-
WWE title.
Are you going to Raw the next on the Monday? Is there a Monday Raw?
There's
or is
no
it a Friday
Monday Raw.
No,
SmackDown?
it's
just
only
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
Oh, are we
Nah,
going?
it's
To
just SmackDown. Do you want to?
I get in it. I literally get in at like 6, so
So
we have to go
yes.
like straight.
Yeah, okay,
there.
we can figure that out. later.
So yes,
So the answer is yes. Okay.
facts.
Oh,
Do
more
we
money.
do we need to do? Who asked for the solo Cody trilogy? No one.
No one.
Why do we get this trilogy?
Facts. There's so many other trilogies we could have gotten.
We could have
There's-
gone for 4 with Seth.
Facts. That would have been so good.
We could have went for 1 with Jacob.
I like
Or
how
two, whatever number they're on.
WWE is sitting backstage being like, "Hey, everyone wants the
Hey,
Cody
do we want
and
this Roman
the Cody
trilogy?
they're saying, "Hey, we want the Cody and Samoan trilogy." Oh yeah, with Roman, right? Roman
who?
who? We're talking about Solo.
Bro, I would have been more
Triple H is just rubbing his hands like
Yeah, he's just like-
Solo.
I would have been more intrigued by Cody versus Damian that one time when they passed backstage and Cody was like, "Hey, good to see you." And Damian's like, "Yeah, see you around, champ." Like that had me more intrigued than
El
the
Campeón.
idea of a solo match.
Yeah, or even like, well, they can't. The problem.
You know Cody is sitting there like Roman just going, Solo!
Why?
I'm dead.
Why?
I'm dead. Also, why does Solo sound goofy as hell when he hits the thumb? He hits the thumb and he's like, and I'm like, what is this man doing?
It's the shout out to Umaga.
It's the
I
Umaga
know,
shout,
but
yeah,
bro, it's
yeah.
silly.
Don't do that.
I don't
It's
know.
silly.
I could go without a
the
solo
sound.
Cody
I'm
3.
so cool.
I
not
could
seeing
go
that.
without Solo in general. No offense to Solo.
What if Roman comes back during the Solo match again? What if we just run SummerSlam back?
Yawn.
What if we just run back?
Hey,
and pretend that
Tim,
SummerSlam didn't happen?
Tim. What if we don't do that?
You want to see the main
No,
event of
'cause I wanna pop
SummerSlam?
for Roman.
You want to see
I
the main event of
know.
SummerSlam 2024?
Yeah,
You wanna
kind
see
of.
us do it
I
again?
wanna- How many memes can we fit into this that we don't want to see?
Well,
Oh Lord.
because they can't run Cody
Because
Jacob.
that's the same thing with
'cause-
the. Hey, you want to see Cody in Solo? You want to see it again?
So bad, dude. And Solo has done nothing to earn this. He literally just lost.
He did. He spiked the champion.
He lost the one
He spiked
thing.
the champion.
The last thing he did was lose the one thing that gave him any credibility.
He spiked the
The
champion.
falafel.
He spiked the champion. No?
He did
You're
that so
digging
many
yourself a
times.
hole.
He did that so many times and still lost
Yeah.
every time.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the one thing that makes it
Trying to
interesting.
justify it.
I think
I
the one
know,
thing that
but it
makes it
doesn't work.
interesting is the addition of Jacob Fatu now being his own man. I think that's the one thing that puts some intrigue to it, and I really do think that this somehow will set up Solo versus Jacob at WrestleMania.
Say it with me now. Pre-show. The more you know, the less you get hurt.
Oh man,
Ouch.
that's not the pre-show, brother.
Jacob Fatu is not a pre-show talent.
Say it with me. Second match of the show. The Biz Break.
Yeah. Say it with me now. Jimmy versus Jay.
But worse.
Damn. I don't think it'll be that much worse. Jesus. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention about Rumble, because Jacob's involved in this, I can say it. Braun no-selling Jacob from Saturday night's main event to show up at Rumble was ass.
We're doing some weird no-selling.
Yeah, there's a lot
and it's
of
all
no
around
sense.
Saturday
We're
night's
keeping-
main event, aren't we?
We're keeping
It's 'cause
random.
it's not real.
We're keeping main event stars off of TV for weeks because we want to drag stories.
Is someone gonna tell Yusuf
So I'm going to tell you what.
that none of it's real?
Facts.
Oh, I know.
Because you
Don't
said
tell
it's
me
not.
this.
Because you said it's not real.
Well, Saturday night's main
Um,
event is not real. It's a figment of our imagination
Oh, okay.
that we like to think was a
Saturday night's
thing.
glorified house show.
Let's wrap this one up, boys. Let's
So
wrap this one up.
currently, right now, what me and Yusuf are gonna go watch is the winner facing Cody match, which is gonna be Cena, Punk, Drew, Paul, the winner of Rollin and Finn, and the winner of a Damian, Braun, and Jacob triple threat. Either way, none of those two last matches matter.
Gentlemen, say it with me now. Cena
Cena.
wins. LOL.
LOL.
Thank you.
That's that. We don't even need. So now the other one right now.
I call
currently
Rollins
is
and
the
Damian,
winner
though.
faces Rhea or Tiffany, which is just strange. But
Probably
honestly,
Rhea.
I could see this actually stretching to Raw. I could see this actually stretching all the way through Raw.
Interesting.
Of after Chamber. Anyway, the Chamber right now for the girls is Liv, it's Bianca, it's Alexa Bliss, it's Bayley, it's the winner of the Chelsea and Naomi match, and the winner of the Roxanne Perez and the Raquel Rodriguez match. Also, those two matches don't matter. However, Roxanne should probably be our Iron Woman in the Chamber because she is kind of on a run right now.
It's Naomi and Roxanne and those two.
Chelsea
Yeah,
losing
Naomi
is
Roxanne.
sad. But honestly, Chelsea's been in the Chamber, I want to say before. Right now, she's a U.S.
Maybe.
champion. Give her
Has
some
she?
other
I don't
things
think
to
so.
do. She doesn't necessarily
Lyra lost
need
her
to be
spot,
in that
so
match.
it's only fair if they want to put him
Um,
on even playing fields
Yeah.
as the
but-
IC champion, you know, as the
So,
mid card counterpart.
very, very cool. Also, I kind of like the intrigue of Bayley possibly throwing herself in the hat for yet another title while she's kind of doing this weird, I'm just challenging for whatever I want.
Honestly, bro, if they
Fuck
build it right, Rhea
Yeah,
Bayley
why
could
not?
be a match I want to see.
There's stuff there.
Mhm.
Because hasn't there been talks about Bianca Rhea for like years now?
Yes, there
Yes.
has been. I feel like
Which is interesting because those are the two experiments that came out of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Essentially.
it could be the time, but I also feel like if she's too entrenched in the women's tag division and whatever story is going to come out of this who attacked Jade Cargill thing, I feel like if anything, if they want Jade to come back by Mania, Jade comes back and takes out both of them and says, Naomi, you attacked me. Bianca, you were this quick to replace me, so you never cared about me either. And Jade's a heel, and Naomi's a heel, and Bianca's a face.
I would also not be too surprised if we tap into this last Liv match. I would also not be
I
surprised.
would tend to
wouldn't
agree.
Really love it. I mean, we've been here, but I mean, like, realistically, we didn't have to do the Raw Mania match. Or
No.
the Raw Mania.
The
fucking
Raw
hell.
Netflix.
The first Raw Netflix match. We didn't have to do that, but I also understand why we did. So I would also venture to guess that that is probably still an option, especially if Charlotte is allegedly going for Tiffany.
Who else is in the chamber right now?
Liv, Bianca,
Liv,
Alexa.
Bianca, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, either Chelsea or Naomi, probably Naomi, and then Roxanne or Raquel, probably Roxanne.
I feel like Liv might actually be a viable option because then they
What's a
can
real viable?
properly.
She's the option.
Well, yeah, I think she's the option because you do two things. You get Liv, Rhea. Wow, I had a stroke for a
Rhea
second.
Riv.
You clip that. You have
Rhea Ripley.
Liv. You have Rhea Liv. What is it, like 5 at this point? 4? I don't even know. And you probably have that be the nail in the coffin for the Judgment Day. You gotta do it at some point. You gotta do it somehow, right?
Come along with me for a second, gentlemen, because
Stay
this is
with
a
me,
pitch.
everybody. No.
This is a pitch that I heard.
Okay.
Liv wins. Everyone's like, okay, it's Rhea or Io versus Liv. Cool. And Liv comes out, attacks both of them during the title match on Raw the next night. And they're like, Liv, you just screwed Io out of our title shot. And Liv, you won a title shot. And Rhea, you're still champion. Triple threat.
And then Io wins.
Yes.
Great. That's what I like to hear.
Great. Emil?
All right, I missed it. I'm sorry.
Bruh. Liv attacks
Yes.
both. Okay.
No.
No triple
don't
threat?
No. Oh, triple. No. I'm cool.
Okay. All right. But yeah, those are our chamber matches. I feel bad for y'all because like I would be excited to see chamber, but I'm also like I would like to not know who's gonna win, but it's telegraphed as fuck. Cena's winning.
Knowing who wins doesn't matter to me. I actually wish I
Oh.
was seeing the old school chamber.
That's fair. The old school chamber looks
I mean,
fucking sick.
I knew who was winning a lot at the Mania matches, and I still like thoroughly enjoyed it. So
there
like,
was still a chance though that
There
other
was-
people.
there wasn't a lot of them. The result is not why I'm there.
Are we gonna see Logan Paul's new finisher, the Pulverizer?
That was cool.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. Growing old, becoming an adult, is realizing that those types of like slam finishers, kind of mid. The best finishers are the ones that come out of nowhere. RKOs, road kicks, spear, claymores.
Superman punch.
No, that's a signature.
Yeah,
It
it's not
does
a
come. It
finisher.
can come out of nowhere.
Well, Orange Cassidy's
Yeah,
is
well,
a
yeah.
finisher, so.
It can come out of nowhere,
also,
but it's
yes, Orange Cassidy.
but yeah, like those finishers that really come out of nowhere, though. You know what I mean? Like
forget
those
that,
ones
yeah,
where it's
that-
like,
Yeah, I get it.
what else? Fucking like a super kick. The
Ugh.
stomp. Rollins can hit the stomp out of nowhere. That's pretty cool.
The Canadian
Um,
Destroyer.
10 toes down
Yeah.
on Roman. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah. 10 hold
That was
hose.
that was nasty, dude. That was
10
nasty
toes
work.
down.
Yeah.
That was nasty work.
Seth knew what he was doing.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
guys, I think we're on track again for another 90-minute show. We're I feel like we've kind of hit our point.
We cooked.
I feel like we
Yeah.
hit our points. We can probably
We
wrap
definitely
here
got off the rails a little
a little bit, but it's okay. It's
Uh-huh.
okay.
That's
Yo-
fine. The booking's a little off the rails.
Yeah,
It was a little bit
exactly.
of a slow
So can
week
we.
this week
Yeah.
too.
Thank God. Low-key, it's been a month, right? So we've gone through Netflix, right? Like so like now like I feel like we're starting to kind of lock into the Netflix moves. I think we're starting to understand it. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing's like these big star-studded events. I mean, it's Raw, guys. Like it's what we've been watching for 20 years. Like nothing's new. Like it's Monday Night Wrestling. Like it is what it is, and it's just on Netflix now. There's I noticed Pat getting colorful and dropping an S word this week. That was fun. Him saying shite was maybe the most interesting language barrier they breached on Netflix the entire time they've been there.
True.
Which is really sad because Rock has an uncensored CW version with promo with the word fuck in it.
Well,
like
that's because he
4
was drunk off his ass.
He was definitely not sober.
He was
On the topic
definitely
of-
sipping his tequila.
Speaking of Pat McAfee, I don't know if y'all caught this during the Jay Gunther segment on Raw, but when Jay's like down on the ropes as he has the mic in his hand and Gunther's like, trying to just kick the shit out of him and then leaves, Pat is just like screaming. He's just like, that monster Gunther, what's wrong with him? Beating up our guy. Why? That's Jay Uso. That's the world. And you can, like, when the camera cuts to Jay with the mic and Pat's just fucking screaming his ass off, you could actually see Michael Cole walk over to Pat and go, shh. And I'm like, that's funny. That's great. You just see Michael Cole tell Pat, shut the fuck up.
Pat, you're doing too much.
No.
You're doing too much, brother.
Pat, we love you, but sometimes it's a little much.
Oh,
Not all
man.
the time, but
Corey Graves is pissed.
yeah.
He's chilling on NXT.
though. No.
They got him away from everybody.
Yeah.
I liked Corey Graves as a commentator, though. I think him and Cole is a really good pairing. Just maybe not as good
It's not as fun.
It's not as fun.
It is as good. It's just a different vibe with Corey and
It's a
Cole.
bit more typical WWE. With Pat, it's literally like you're hanging out with your bro.
Yeah.
And I mean that's
and I feel like Corey doesn't like Pat even before this whole thing happened, because like you could tell that they like, I feel like when I hear him on commentary, I can hear tension a little bit. Like Corey can't stand him.
I think it's just like it's a clash of personalities.
He's also always salty because he always has to come in September and keep it going, and hopefully people don't tune out while we're all just waiting for
Pat's
Pat.
busy.
Yeah, for sure.
While
for
we're
sure.
just waiting for Pat. And that's a shitty position to be in. Like trust me, I get it. Like you know, he's essentially the sixth man. Like I get it.
Yeah.
We still don't have any payoff to his ramblings on Twitter.
I think
they're
going to
retcon that as hard as humanly possible.
I think those are real.
At this point, I'm kind of convinced that they were
really
real.
did nothing to that, and they went and stashed him in NXT and have made him basically shut up.
Yep.
No.
And now when they pick a third guy, it's Wade Barrett. It's not Corey.
Yeah, Wade got a call.
And Wade's been really good.
Wade's been fun.
Wade's been really good.
I mean, he has to play double duty now that he's with Joe Tessa's Sleepy Tour.
Joe Tess is getting better too.
Joe Sleepy
Joe
Tour.
and Wade have a good chemistry now.
I'm not watching a 3-hour SmackDown with Joe Tessa Tour. I'm just not doing it. I refuse.
Sleepy Joe Tess.
I'm going the fuck out.
There
I'm
are
going
moments
to bed.
I like
I'm doing
Joe.
anything else. I'm making music. I'm doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
There's moments I like Joe Tessitore, but then there's other moments where like I was like Friday, for example, right? I had SmackDown on, just like doing laundry while also like trying to keep up with what's going on the show, and I just hear like, you know, segments in between matches or in between promos. It's just on Friday Night SmackDown, blah blah blah, and I'm like, whose generic ass voice is this? And then I realized, oh, that's Joe Tessitore. Awkward. Well, he'll learn. He's still learning. That's fine.
I don't know, man.
I'm not hating. I'm just like,
I personally don't hate Joe Tess. Well, I want to like him, okay? I want to like him.
No, I'm in the same boat. I want to like him.
But those moments, there's definitely those moments where it's like something big's happening, and like it's not like the complete come down, but like it's in one of those things where it's like we're waiting to see the fallout of it. Truly, like the dust is starting to clear, and he's just like, and now the officials are coming to the ring to check on the competitors, and it's like, dude, say it with a little more bravado, dude. You gotta say it with a little more something. Jesus.
I miss Mauro Ranallo.
Yeah, I do too. Too. With that being said, y'all, let's wrap this up on a high note. Thank y'all so much for tuning in this week. I forgot to plug it. I'm going to try and make it more of a habit to plug it at the beginning of the podcast from now on. But if you're watching on Spotify or Apple, make sure to leave us a 5-star review. We'd really appreciate it. At least give us the rating. You don't have to drop a review or anything if you don't want to. But if you did, that'd be really fucking cool because it really helps us grow. And that's what we want. The bigger the community we build, the more fun it's going to be for everybody involved. If you're on Spotify, make sure to leave a comment too. Let us know your favorite part. Let us know which one of us has the worst take and which one it is. Let us know why it's a meal and why Tyler's got the best. I'm kidding. I got some stinkers too. Come on. I said that Jey Uso. I said that what was the Cena take I had? That Jey was better than Cena in the ring. Yeah, that was pretty ass. I won't lie.
I forgot about that.
I won't lie. That was ass.
I forgot about that.
I was floundering. I was trying to find something. But hey, it's all in fun. That's what we're here for. So, like I said, rating, review, leave a comment. If you're on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment on the video as well. TikTok, go ahead and follow us at Kickout Club Wrestling. We'd really appreciate that. If you still have the app. If you still have the app, you should. Those jokes are irrelevant. Thank you, President Trump. Just kidding. Fuck that guy. Not to be political, but here we are.
Let's not.
I deleted the app like an idiot.
Damn, that sucks. Wait, you can't re-download the app? You can absolutely.
It's not on the store.
Yes, it is.
Nope. It's country locked.
What? They worked.
Don't delete it, and don't go try it.
Bro, they worked a deal out to keep it.
I'll show you some. I'll show you sometime.
That's wild.
I'll screen record it for you.
Well, y'all. With that being said, we will catch you all next week because on Tuesdays we talk wrestling and sometimes post on Tuesdays. Sometimes post on Wednesdays.
Sometimes Saturdays.
Sometimes we Saturday.
Sometimes. You know, that's that. But y'all, thanks so much. We'll see you all on the next one.
Go birds,
bitches.
Go birds.